Superfly is ready to go here. WBA belts on the line. Andrew Moloney comes to the States for a title defense. 21-0 against Joshua Franco. A one loss in the career of Joshua Franco. 16-1-2. He's from San Antonio, but he's gotten his best training and his work in California with Robert Garcia. And Garcia has been thrilled with Franco's prep. He says the best focus, the best preparedness that he's ever seen from Joshua Franco. So many of these fighters, you wonder, how did they get through the quarantine, the isolation with their training? The twins, you see the Moloney brothers there, and now the focus, the seriousness of a champion. Looking to defend his belt, WBA Junior Bantamweight Championship belt. Chocolatito Gonzalez is the WBA's champion at 115 pounds. This is the regular champion in the multi-tiered system. His first fight in the U.S., Andrew Moloney. Started boxing at 13 just to get in shape for Aussie football. Here he is at 29, unbeaten with a belt. I love the story of having come to Vegas a couple times. Saw Triple G fight, saw the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight. His manager told him, look at the MGM Grand, because someday you are going to be headlining there as a champion. That someday is right now. We are set for this title fight, and here's Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside the MGM Grand Conference Center. This is boxing presented by Bob Arum's Top Rank. This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds for the WBA Super Flyweight Championship of the World. Judges at ringside, Patricia Morse-Jarman, Julie Letterman, and Dave Moretti. And the man in charge at the sound of the bell, Mr. Tony Weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is boxing. This is Top Rank. And this is the main event. Fighting out of the blue corner, presented in association with Golden Boy Promotions. He weighed in at 115 pounds, wearing white trunks with black trim. He brings a record of 16 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 8 wins coming by way of knockout, making his first attempt at a world title from San Antonio, Texas, Joshua El Profesor Franco. Fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in at 114.6 pounds, wearing white trunks with black trim. He brings a perfect record, 21 wins, no losses, 14 wins coming by way of knockout, making his first world title defense. He is the reigning WBA Super Flyweight Champion of the World, Andrew the Monster Moloney.
Okay, gentlemen, we both received your instructions in your dressing room. Okay, right here is good. Right here is good. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourselves at all times. Let's go.
Reminder, you can join in to the audio of this broadcast by going to espn.hearmecheer.com if you want your voice heard. Fanless atmosphere, but not for you at home. watch here, available on any device. Round 1, 12-round title fight.
Yes, I expect a lot of adjustments to be made by both these fighters. Both these fighters can handle themselves very well in any area of the ring. They can both fight outside. They both can fight inside the pocket. So I'm expecting a lot of adjustments to be made. But early on, Tess, you know, what do you do, Tess, when you first go out and, you know, go check the pool? What do? You stick your feet in there. You know, you want to check the temperature. And I think that's what these guys are going to do right off the gate. They're going to check each other's temperature and see what each other is trying to do.
Nobody's diving right in, although Moloney is having some success with the jab there. Just backed up the right hand with it. When he is tracked
Moloney,
by CompuBox, and we
boss.
showed you the power punch numbers, but he can be a busy fighter. He averages 68 punches thrown per round. His accuracy is over 36%. And he will go to the body. 33% of his punches are body shots. Franco trying to land a right hand to the body himself. And now to the inside, whereas a right hand comes to that left flank from Moloney.
Tess, that's exactly what Franco is doing. He's checking the temperature of that water right now. He's trying to feel the power of Moloney. He's trying to gather distance and the speed. And eventually, he's just keeping his hands up high because eventually he's going to react. You see the transition, Tess, with Moloney, how he's coming forward, using his jab, establishing presence, and then you see him move and get out of the way. That's just smart boxing by Moloney. Well-schooled boxing.
Yeah, he's got good fundamentals, too, with his punching technique. He
Yes.
guard up high, shoots it out straight, gets it back. Nothing's fat, nothing's loose.
Everything's nice and tight.
Very tight.
But I have to say, you know, after watching him for, you know, most part of this round, he comes in the same way, right down the middle. So he can be timed on the way in.
Tim, you mentioned that first round, the cautiousness of Franco of not going all the way in and just touching the pool, testing the temperature. You know, when he has been tracked in CompuBox fights, he's nearly 85 punches thrown per round. He was 4 connected punches out of 29 thrown, only 29 thrown in that first round. Moloney was 11 of 66 in a well-managed opening round.
Yes, Franco has been very cautious at the moment. You know, he's, like I said, in the beginning, a few rounds, he just takes a little time to warm up before he starts getting his timing down. But he better not be waiting too long, because you can see Moloney, you know, working his hands and winning these rounds. He won the first round, I thought, fairly easy.
Moloney, the belt holder at 115 pounds in the WBA.
Oh, no.
You know, it almost seems like Franco he's setting up something. He's looking for one punch. You know, he's being very patient right now. And he's just getting Moloney comfortable. It just almost seems that way. He's trying to get him comfortable in there, so that way he can set him up with his power shot.
More combination work from Andrew Moloney. Digs that left hand to the body. Gets to the inside, saw his option, dipped to the left, placed that left hand. And now Franco comes with a left
There it
hand
is.
to the body himself.
Stop, I got you.
About 10 seconds ago, you see Franco, he lands a short uppercut. That's the punch right there that he can land against Moloney. And there he is, attempts it again, because like I told you, Moloney comes straight down the middle. That's the problem that Moloney has. Nice counter right there from Franco, stepping back, letting the jab, the right hand of Moloney fly past, and then catching him with the counter.
That was a far better second round from the upset-seeking Joshua Franco. Tim, the work he did at that one moment with the left uppercut, that caught our eye.
Yeah, Franco set up this left uppercut right here. You see he misses the right hand, and he locates the head of Moloney. It's down there, and then he pops him up with the uppercut, leaning just a little bit over that knee. Great shot by Franco.
You know, it's interesting the way you phrase that. He locates the head after missing with the right hand, because as he came through, he didn't overextend with the right hand. He actually kept the elbow against the head, kept it there until he removed it just before the left uppercut then came in.
Lined it up, Tess.
Yeah, he did.
He lined it up.
And swung away.
You know, you see all these punches being thrown by Moloney, and you know, it looked like he's winning on points, but the one that's landing the harder, cleaner, more effective shots right now is Franco.
How about the sound of these punches tonight? Now, obviously, with the fanless atmosphere and the microphones we have everywhere, you pick up a lot, but these two, and the way they dig in and create some torque, the little guy's at 115 pounds, but you hear the thud.
Oh, yeah. You can hear the thud, Tess. I think that's been another fun part about broadcasting remotely and also without any audience, is that when you get the real big punches in there, it just sounds different.
Franco shaking out that right
I have to say, Moloney doesn't belong, Tess. Moloney doesn't belong in mid-range with Franco. Franco is very, very educated at mid-range, and he lets his hands go in combinations, blazing, sharp, crisp combinations at mid-range.
Australian titleist searching for that right hand to fill that path right there. Big right hand.
Keep going, man. Let him go, hands free, hands free.
Nice hook right there from Moloney.
Heard so much about the Moloney brothers, the twin brothers, and now we get to see them stateside headlining a week of Top Rank on ESPN. Andrew retained his title here. Round number 4 against Joshua Franco for Andrew. Tim, I got a chuckle last night when we were on our Zoom call with Andrew Moloney, and, you know, I'm sure they get the question for years and years, oh, you guys spar against each other. If it ever came to it, would you ever go in and fight against each other? And you think you're going to get the answer you would always get with that, but that wasn't what we got. We got the answer of, you know, if there's enough money on the table and it would set up our families for years and years to come, yeah, we would fight each other.
That just let me know that these gentlemen are businessmen. That's what they are. Put their feelings aside and go get that bread.
That was a good left hand to the body from Moloney that time. Takes that dip in that angle and places the left hand.
Tess, you see the change in strategy. I told you there's going to be a lot of adjustments right now, you know, during this fight. You see Franco where he wants to be. He's trying to get it in the inside and pressure Moloney. Nice angle out right there from Moloney.
There you go. Keep on, kid. There you go. Keep that half distance, but there you go. Okay, keep a step back and then come back. Take a step back and come back. Come on, come on. Good, come on. Right there, come on. Right there.
Ooh, nice
Jab,
body
right
shot right
hand,
there.
and a left hand to the body. Finished it. That was the most effective punch of the three-punch combination. That left hand to the body has found its mark here in round number 4 for Andrew Moloney.
You can see the movement a little bit is giving Franco a little problems. Of Moloney. Again.
Franco goes with a
Nice
left to the
left
belt
hook
by
by
himself.
Moloney.
The body attack of Moloney has been very effective here. He's landing 45% of his body punches. Remember, we noted earlier that he has a tendency to go to the body when he really gets in rhythm. CompuBox had him at 33% of his punches being body shots. Right now, he's at 46%. The judge's view there as we begin round number 5. Title fight from Vegas. Andrew Moloney, the 29-year-old Australian, undefeated at 21-0 against Joshua Franco. This was what I was noting, Timmy, in terms of where he likes to target. And
Right there.
Andrew Moloney, the WBA belt holder, at 44% to the body.
Tess, he's very disciplined with his approach. You know, going down to the body is very smart for Moloney. But, you know, talking to him and speaking with him in the fighter meeting in our Zoom call, you know, he said that I love to study boxing. And the guys that I love to study them is Julio Cesar Chavez, Manuel Marquez, Ricardo Lopez, all Mexican fighters. So that explains to me why he's digging that left hand down to the body.
He loves that Mexican style.
Stop.
Right there. Good. Down. Good. Working. Keep on. Come on. Stand over the jab. You're too strong. Right hook. Behind the glove. There you go.
Nice. At mid-range, I tell you, Franco put those combinations together. There's nothing that Moloney can do.
Here, Robert Garcia, his trainer, was just lauding him for his work, encouraging him to get back to that inside attack, that mid-range attack. Much better looking round for Franco.
Moloney's doing a little bit of everything. Moloney, he'll stay there, he'll fight, you know, land combinations, and then you'll see him pull out and land combinations as well. But the only time it's tough for him is in these sequences right here, where he's standing mid-range, right in front of Franco, and Franco tees off him.
Keep that jab going. Keep that half distance. Good. Turn him. Good. Keep going. You broke him down already. Don't let him get back in it. There you go.
You see Franco right there. He measures with that lead hand. He's looking for that left uppercut. That's the punch that he wants to land against Moloney.
Jab right hand. Right there. Right hook. Behind the glove. There you go. Again.
There's a right hand that came in as he drove that down.
Good. He's standing now. Let's go.
Franco gets real consistent with his offense. It's kind of made Moloney put his hands in his pocket just for a brief moment.
That's a decent round. The way bonus boxing, live boxing Saturday night from Mexico City with Miguel Berchelt in action. Of course, we had our show from Mexico City this past Saturday night when Emmanuel Navarrete dominated Uriel Lopez. A fight card that also included a spectacular knockout, Timmy. That's Sergio Sanchez left uppercut against Gustavo Pena. Folks, if you haven't seen it, go online and just search Sanchez knockout. It is unbelievable.
Stop. Keep working, Josh.
SVP will be coming up after our main event here. We'll have everything you need to know about baseball's return, a new 60-game season. Woj with the latest on what's going on with the NBA. And Djokovic with the positive coronavirus test. The tennis world reacts to that. Of course, we had news of a world champion, Jamel Herring, testing positive. So that alters the top-ranked schedule next week. Good exchanges here in round number 6.
There you go. Keep going, Josh. Keep going. Backing him up. Right hand over his jab. Right there.
One thing that I see that Moloney, what he's doing wrong is that he gets out, he starts bouncing, and that's the time that you see Franco commits with offense. You know, when he's up in the air bouncing, he's not set and ready to punch. That's why you see Franco have success when he gets near Moloney.
Is Moloney doing that bounce, not realizing that he's out of harm's way, Timmy? Do you feel like the bounce is coming where he's not fully out?
The bounce is coming at mid-range.
Yeah.
You know, that's just habit. That's just from habit, doing it in previous fights and in training and in sparring as well. You know, if you're going to bounce like that, you need to be all the way out, away from your man, not at mid-range, because you're up in the air. You have to come down to punch.
Or how about not do it at all and not waste energy?
Well, that's something that has to be taught. That's something that has to be taught in the gym. You know, not everybody's going to see that, Tess.
Keep going. Start getting the body.
Right hand, right down the middle, behind the jab from Moloney. Closing moments here of round number 6. Junior bantamweight belt on the line from Vegas. Well, after that 6th round, we could hear the voice of trainer Robert Garcia echoing around the MGM Grand Conference Center and telling Joshua Franco 6 more rounds and you can be a world champion, trying to inspire him a bit, Tim. He's got to avoid the right hand that we just saw Andrew Moloney land, though.
There you go.
Yeah, like I told you folks earlier, you know, counters typically come from the same side of punches thrown from. You see the punch thrown to the body, and you see Franco slowly came back with his right hand, but little did he know Moloney was there a little bit quicker and on the money with his. All right, you see the shift again. There's another adjustment that I see from Moloney. Moloney's choosing to stay in the pocket. Now he wanted to fight with Franco and dig down to the body. But now, as you see, he makes the adjustment. It's too hot in there, so he's getting back out.
Keep going first. There you go. Stay first. There you go. You gotta be first, Josh. There you go. You gotta be first.
One thing I like about Franco, Tess, is he's just really consistent with his work. Very accurate as well. He's not wasting any punches.
Good work that time, that mid-range, that inside game that you've talked about.
Yeah, take it, sit back and get him on the camera. You're gonna stay back when he throws.
I have to say that the only guy that's better in this weight class at that mid-range like that is Chocolatito. Franco is really good at mid-range.
You know, we focused in on 115 pounds and 118 pounds in recent years a good bit. We get to see Moloney tonight, but Jerwin and Cajas is another guy who we've enjoyed seeing there. Obviously, Chocolatito, cream of the crop. And then Juan Francisco Estrada is very talented as well.
Right over his jab, right over his jab. Keep going, keep going. There you go.
And then, Timmy, come this weekend, we're going to see one of the best at 130 pounds in a non-title.
The current gold standard for action trilogies is, of course, Gaddy Ward. But Franco and Oscar Negrete threw 1,400 more punches in their trilogy. Negrete was supposed to fight Jason Moloney, but pulled out because of a detached retina. But Joshua Franco, from the looks of it, hasn't lost anything.
That was an amazing series that he had with Negrete. Right now, Franco has thrown 419 punches. Moloney's thrown 453. 3 fights that he had with Negrete, they combined to throw over 5,600 punches in those 30 rounds. And he's picking up the pace here in round number 8.
Yes, Tess, in that sequence right there where you saw Moloney get pulled back, he was forced out with the pressure from Franco and lift his head up. And what did Franco do? The smart thing. He followed him as he pulled his head up with a two-punch combination.
Robert Garcia telling Franco, just keep throwing combinations. Good things happen when he lets his hands go at mid-range and on the inside. There's another left hand to the body from Moloney.
Tess, the bouncing is the problem, Tess. The jumping up and down. He's not set to punch, and you see Franco jump on him. That's the problem Moloney is having. He's handling himself pretty decent inside the close quarters. But when he starts bouncing up and down, that's when he gets hit.
There's a right hand working behind the jab from Franco. Good work right here in round number 8.
Yeah, Tess, you know, Franco's punches just seem so harder, just harder, you know, and just accurate. Moloney, yeah, he's letting combinations, he's letting them fly, but the accuracy, pinpointed shots are coming from Franco.
There's the clap coming to the end of round number 8. 4 rounds to go to see who's walking away with a title. Glad you're with us here for this title fight between the undefeated Andrew Moloney and the upset-seeking San Antonian Josh Franco. Look at the punch stats. Pretty even there. Moloney with a 141 to 128 connect advantage there. 497 to 488 in terms of punches thrown through 8 rounds. I thought Franco had some really good work in that 8th round, Tim.
Yeah, Franco did have some good work. You know, he was operating when he saw Moloney jumping up and down. He stand on top of him, following him out with the jab and the right hand, landing some beautiful right hands over the top. You know, but this is a close fight. You know, I don't know who's winning this fight at this moment. But right now, I think Franco right now is seemingly in control.
Some of the observers following along here have seen it 5-3 Moloney or 4-4. They had a lot of success early on with the body work. Also had that right hand in the 6th round. Franco had a solid uppercut in the 2nd round, and last couple rounds he has hit his stride a little more. But it is an even fight, no doubt about it, with the WBA junior bantamweight title on the line. Let's check in with Bernardo.
You know, Angelo Hyder, who trains Andrew Moloney, said, look, I want him to stay within the system, keep working the body, work behind the jab. I think we're up at this point. And just at that moment, Andrew's twin brother, Jason, went over and said, Andrew, you got to do more. So first time in America, maybe he's got to do that more.
And it's interesting when your twin brother is saying that. I mean, obviously nobody knows him better. Trained together, and they've taken this incredible ride together. But the concern from his brother Jason of, hey, let's go for it here. Work right through.
Taking some big shots in this round, Tess.
Franco taking a step forward.
I'm starting to see the separation in this round of this fight. You know, just stronger stocking coming forward. Franco is having his way.
And it's a style that's very pleasing to the judges, making the fight, being more the aggressor.
Beautiful work by Franco. You know, he's taking a half a step back, allowing Moloney to fall in with his punches and then countering them. He's doing a little bit of everything, people.
Got a good one with a belt on the line from Vegas. Close coming down to the wire. Robert Garcia is saying 3 rounds and you're a world champion. Lots still to be accomplished here. Round number 10. Franco, you know, we mentioned earlier, was getting a lot of support in the last 24 hours, in the last 12 hours in terms of the betting line internationally. Late money was all coming in on Joshua Franco, as he was bet down to a minus 160.
Stop.
Plus 160, excuse me. And we saw an upset a week ago with a very live dog. Could we have one again tonight?
You know, this fight is really hard to ascertain on, you know, you got one guy boxing, moving around, using his legs and finding his spots in Moloney, and then you have the come forward fighter in Franco. But, you know, I have to tell you, that judges need to resist sometimes the temptation of giving the fighter a round based on the previous round. You know, I believe last round, without question, Franco won that round.
That is a slip.
Yeah, it was a slip. It definitely was a slip, but, you know, that takes a lot out of you, especially when you're fighting a tough fight like this. You're in a tough fight like this. And you see right away the experience of Franco going right to him.
Closes that gap. Fires a series of punches. Right hand was able to score there. You can see some blood around the left eye of the unbeaten Andrew Moloney. He now has blood streaming down the left eye. That may have been caused by that right hand moments ago as Franco picks up the pace, pressuring the undefeated Moloney.
Franco needs to go down to the body, Ted. That's where he needs to go, and he does. You see the experience of Franco. This fight could be over, Tess.
He is in control right now here in round number 10.
Hamstring. No.
You can hear Robert Garcia saying, it's all you, Josh. Blood streaming down the eye of the belt holder right now from Australia. Franco targeting that left eye.
Come on, I got you. Stop. Come on.
Good job, Moloney, by buying some time. Ooh, what a...
There's the right hand that drives down from Franco and opened up that cut in the corner of the left eye. So a big 10th round for the American hopeful.
See how he chopped down with that right hand, Ted. That's what...
confirming that they saw it as a punch causing that as well. So they deal with the left eye. 6 minutes to go. Could Joshua Franco take this belt away from Andrew Moloney? Oh, he snapped his head back! Franco does damage to Moloney. Knockdown score.
6, 7, 8. Come to me. You good? Okay, I'm gonna give you a chance.
Moloney's in trouble here. Came here unbeaten with the WBA Junior Bantamweight belt. But Joshua Franco, we told you, a live dog, looking for the upset. He is in control here in round number 11, trying to win a title. Goes underneath with the right hand. Trying to stay composed here.
Moloney choosing to fight. He needs to stay away. Until he clears his head, Moloney is choosing to fight. He needs to stay away and tie up Franco if he wants to survive this round.
Now closing that distance in that red corner. There's a right hand that comes in.
Moloney's doing a good job with his movement right now, buying himself some time to clear his head and also his legs. You got to understand that when you get knocked down like that and get hit with shots, you know, your legs become numb as well.
Franco looking for that right hand again up top. Blood continues to stream down the side of the face of Andrew Moloney. 3-punch combination.
Franco right now is neglecting the body. He needs to go down to the body if he wants to stop Moloney. If he attacks the body, he's going to have Moloney sit directly in front of him where he needs him to be so he can land his power shot.
Let him go.
Just smart work by Franco. Very smart work.
12th and final round. Could Joshua Franco be closing in on earning a title? You heard the corner of Andrew Moloney and Angelo Hyder, who said 1-2 hold, 1-2 move. We think it's a close fight.
I got you.
He just had a 10-8 round go against him. You could make a strong argument that since the 7th round on, it's been all Franco. He had a huge 10th round as well, and now he's in control here to start the 12th. Upset could be 2.5 minutes away. The pride of San Antonio, Texas, Joshua Franco, the 24-year-old who worked so hard to get to this point, had the trilogy with Negrete, a contender at both 115 and 118 pounds. Only one career loss. And as Robert Garcia said, Tim, he said, I could tell this is the most prepared he's been, the best he's been. Consider saying that when so many other fighters have struggled with all the COVID restrictions, gyms that weren't open, and he says Franco looks the best he's looked.
Franco never lost sight of his dreams, and he felt in his heart that he was going to get a call sooner or later. And it came. You know, I always said, Tess, that the most disciplined fighter during this time is the one that's going to succeed and move forward. And obviously tonight, you can see the discipline that Franco used and had during this COVID-19, because he is putting it on this champion right now.
Moloney banked some early rounds. Franco stayed the course, increased the pressure, and then has really brought it downhill down the stretch.
You know, Tess, a fighter knows when another fighter is weakening. You know, Franco feels it. You see the smile in his face. I know he's not smiling, but I'm telling you, he's smiling internally right now because he knows he's in total control of this bout.
Stop.
You know, you got to give A.Moloney credit going down and getting up and still fighting back hard. You know, he's behaving like a fighter, like a champion supposed to. Nice combination there by A.Moloney.
Good work. Cut in the 10th, hurt and damaged and knocked down in the 11th, but finishing up well here in the 12th is the undefeated current titleist Andrew A.Moloney.
A.Moloney just found his rhythm, ladies and gentlemen.
Back half of this title fight was wildly
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds here inside the MGM Grand, we go to the judges for the official decision. Julie Letterman has it 115-112. Patricia Morse-Jarman and Dave Moretti have it 114-113. Declaring the winner by unanimous decision. And new WBA Super Flyweight Champion of the World, Joshua El Professor Franco!
the two best words in boxing, and new. Joshua Franco takes the title from Andrew A.Moloney. A.Moloney suffers the first loss of his career, and that was absolutely well-earned from the 24-year-old from San Antonio. Look at the disappointment on the face of A.Moloney. All the dreams to come to Vegas, to have his name in lights, to defend his title, and now this. We will hear from Joshua Franco when we return. Don't go anywhere.